Call this meeting to order. We will approve November 11th, 2025 minutes.
Move we approve the minutes, the written.
Second it.
You guys are like sentinels at the door,
Yeah, you're not getting out.
Can't come out, can't come in.
Keeping an eye on you.
Meeting approved November 25th, 2025 warrant.
No second.
All in favor? Employee health insurance premiums. That's why you guys, Deb, that's why you guys are here for the health insurance.
Yep. And Chris wanted to be here, but he's working on the rescue Tobago,
Oh.
so he couldn't be here.
Make your case.
She's better at it.
Throw you under the bus.
Well, she's
So, I've been doing research and I did print out, a few things that were added to an email for you guys. The insurance premiums are making a significant, increase at the beginning of the year, especially for Chris, who's gonna be impacted the most. His, currently, if he continues going, more than 51% of his work paycheck is going towards insurance. So, what do we, 51%? What do we do?
Okay, so my work, ours renews on January 1st, and that's when it's the biggest impacted.
Yes.
So they backed it up and they're renewing it in December. I don't know if you guys can do that, but it saves us like big bucks.
No.
And my company pays for all of our insurance, but we have like a stipend that this is how much, you can use, and if there's like 3 tiers that we can.
That's kind of what I found. So Maine Municipal actually has, they have a financial audit, and it goes back as far as people kind of input the data. So I did print out a simple version, but there is a much more extensive version, and you can go down to, municipalities within the same size and less. So I'm finding that it looks like about 80% of municipalities, or 85%, don't have the paper in front of me, they actually cover the insurance fully for single, not to do with
And that's
family.
how ours
Yeah.
is single, and then it's like half of what it would be for if you have family members.
Right, the family is extremely expensive, I don't have that.
Yeah,
number.
Chris is actually paying, they take out $859 every 2 weeks, just for the health. That doesn't include the dental or the vision.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go up to almost $1,000. So they've all gone up like $200 to $300. So he's looking at $2,000 a month for insurance.
Yeah, and that's why ours went from, because ours renews on January, but the person that we have through, Clark Associates was able to bounce it back to December to start, because January is when the big league.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's.
No, Maine Municipal won't do that.
Okay.
No.
Two increases next year.
Yeah.
So just to recap, what we got, was there question that Debbie, Sarah, and Chris would like to discuss, the increase in the health insurance rates that the town pays from 80% to 100%. And we have the new rates that come into effect, January 1st. But what I discovered is that we also have people taking, we have 5 people taking individual, and then Chris takes family health.
No, that's, the 5 includes Chris.
Huh?
The 5 includes Chris.
Yeah, but he's also got family.
You broke it down to individual and.
You got the individual, what's
See,
any,
we're only gonna pay individuals right
Right.
now by,
Right.
so he's also got the family portion of it that we don't subsidize. Right?
Right, we deduct the 80% of what he would get from the family, and then he pays the balance.
Right.
Right.
So, and then I also just saw that we signed on the warrants that we had people taking dental and vision.
Yeah, but we pay for that. The town doesn't pay for that.
The employees pay for that.
Yeah, you have to be careful when you say we, because you're.
Sorry, the employees.
Okay.
And that's not really going up that much, so, you know, it's, the health insurance, yeah. The vision actually went down about $1.
It's super minimal, where you can go, that's considered in-network, that will do any
All right.
coverage.
so the new dollar figure, from what I came up with, is about $116 more a month is the increase, correct? For an individual plan, just a straight individual.
It went from 12 something to 14, so.
Yeah, $12.90 to $14.06, I rounded up.
Yeah, okay.
And again, that doesn't sound significant to some people, but honestly, the others, like, down below.
Yeah.
I mean, you work 2 jobs, you have no more days to give, how do you make up that difference?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's our biggest concern, is just no more time. I mean, you all must see me, I mean, I cruise through here sometimes at 3:30 in the morning to go to another job. So, where it would make up more. Yeah, Chris has his farm, he does the other, you know, he works for Sebago,
Yeah.
on the ambulance, and he works here. I mean, he has no more time, so when you're losing that, you're losing it. It's
Right.
gone. There's
Yeah.
no making that up.
And just to clarify that these, rates that you sent us are for pay period or per month?
The 1,400 is a month.
Just a month, yeah.
Okay.
And also, he may be losing, Seth, because Seth wants health insurance and he can't afford it, so he thinks that if maybe we offered him the full benefit, he would stay.
Oh, this is what, there. Okay. Well, we certainly are required to pay the 80%, because that's what's in our ordinance. The other question's only the other 20%. I'm not personally opposed to it, but we can't personally, approve it.
Right.
It needs to go through a town meeting.
Right.
When is our auditor report coming, you know? Jen?
She's supposed to have it ready by February, she said. Yep. So, no, that's earlier than last year.
Right. And then the other thing that we're paying is the main paid family medical leave,
Right.
and that, the law says on that one that we're supposed to pay half of it?
Well, no, that it's, you choose, you can do half of it, or the town pays all of it.
Says for 225 to 227, the joint contribution rate for employers, employees is set at the joint is either a half or 1% of wages. Are we paying, a 0.5%?
I think we've been the whole thing.
Yeah, you pay it.
Yeah, but
Because
the
there was
question
a
is,
cutoff on employees, if I remember the.
what is the amount of wage, so is it a half or 1% of the wages?
It's 1% of the wages.
We're paying 1%
Mhm.
to the state.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we just found out from the auditor, we're getting taxed on that.
So we pay the tax on the 0.5%.
They're adding it
When
into the
Debbie says
FICA.
we, she means employees.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
employees pay the
sorry.
tax on that. They add it into your gross pay and the backdoor things, and then they tax you, and then they take it back out. It's odd.
Yeah.
But main taxes is taxes.
Yeah.
No more than 0.5% can come from the employee. But we're paying the 1% by the town, and we should get that approved as well. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but it just needs to be approved.
Mhm.
We have a personnel ordinance, which is pretty
Yeah.
specific, and,
I remember, but wasn't there, because I asked how many employees, and we bounced right around that number of employees, where that's the threshold where you can choose to pay half, or you have to pay the whole thing.
it says,
That's how I understood it.
employers
That's
who,
what it
with
started.
15 or more employees will contribute 1% of the wages and may deduct up to half of the contribution from the employee's wages.
Okay.
But,
They-
so,
We didn't do anything formal on that,
yeah,
no.
we haven't done anything on
No.
that. Well, we should do that as well, I guess, at the same time. Well, we can run the numbers and see, decide whether to hold a town meeting right away, or wait till we get the auditor's report. I don't think it's gonna break the bank one way or the other, but let me run the numbers and see if I can figure out exactly what it'll turn out to be. Because it's more than just the increase, it's,
You can run it
you know,
on
the
audit.
percentage.
Right, your numbers against like what the auditor uses, so he could have something based off of what happened.
Yeah, I can write a report.
The other thing is, we can vote to be retroactive with it, at some point, but, we just see what the numbers are. Maybe we can take care of it right away.
My preliminary numbers would tell you it's about $280 a person. Per month.
A month?
Yeah. Based on that 1,400 figure at 20%.
Yeah.
Times 52.
But, yeah. Of course, we're only talking about half a year, because we've already budgeted in for the other half, but, I'll see if I can run the numbers and figure out what it is. But I don't think it's gonna break anything. Yeah, I mean, read the stories, it's, health insurance is gonna be a crusher for a lot of people.
Alright. You made your case.
Okay, anybody have any questions, or would like to request any more information for me to try to dig out?
One thing that Sarah is working on with the more detailed audit is, and you may have already mentioned that, with the audit, it breaks down the number of municipalities in terms of their population.
Yes.
So it would be comparable, so we're not comparing us to like Standish or Portland or.
No, all our surrounding towns, like, Brownfield and Porter and Parsonsfield, it's all 100%, and they actually do retirement and this and that, and like a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Brownfield that actually came here to do their own, like, audit, and I laughed at her, because she came in, you know, wanting to make $28 an hour, she was 6 months in, they had full health coverage, full retirement, and they were still complaining, and I was like, okay, that's fun. You shouldn't take our audit down, like, that's not even close to the same, because they divvy up their jobs differently. Most municipalities have broken down a town clerk into multiple positions versus one person. Because when someone like Deb moves out, a new person coming in didn't grow with it, so they don't understand how to balance all of it.
Right.
So a treasurer is a treasurer, and that's it. They
Yeah.
don't touch registration, they don't touch different, you really gotta dig deep, because there again, it might say town clerk, you know, gets this, this, and this, but town clerk, what is that definition for that municipality? It's different everywhere.
Yeah.
There's very few that have this structure anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to clean it up the best that I can.
Okay, thank you.
That's it, I'll go home and finish cleaning for Thanksgiving.
Have a good one. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, you're welcome, you guys have a nice Thanksgiving.
Reminders, the town office only open half an hour? Okay. And they're off Thursday and Friday. Due to the holidays. Joe?
Sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about seen and unseen economics. It's something I've thought a lot about when I was on the school board, and I see it in the town. For instance, Firefly Lane, our at the time CEO gave a permit to David Blaze to put in a driveway that had specifically been not allowed on the subdivision permit from the planning board. And that was wonderful for David Blaze.
Mm.
You know, he apparently, it cost him a lot less than putting in the road where he said he was going to. And what we don't see is the people that hurt. Because now the Firefly Lane gets more traffic and gets pounded and is going to have to be worked on. And then you're going to have the problem we have over here with a whole bunch of people who don't have an what do you call it, a homeowners association, HOA.
Yeah.
You know, they're just sometimes one person plows, another person
Yeah.
takes the next way, you know.
One association type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and there is none there.
Yeah.
And we've opened up so that in the future, when the rest of that lot gets subdivided, well, now you've already got a road going in there. So, on the one hand, you've done this wonderful thing for one person, and on the other hand, you've done a terrible thing for the people already there. And so I call it economics rather than wonderful thing, whatever. But I just wanted to bring it up because that's what I see and that's what I look for when I'm on the planning board, when I was on the school board especially. We had a slightly different structure than you in that we always took 3 meetings to finalize a decision, because we found by the 3rd meeting, all the people who objected came out of the woodwork and told us so. And that was a good thing. It avoided a lot of problems. And I don't recommend it to you, because it doesn't work for selectmen, but I'm just talking about it, just saying. Back in the 90s, the selectmen asked me to research the cost of a house being built in Baldwin. Because at the time, the town allowed you to charge a development fee to any building permit. And they tied it to what the actual cost was. So you had to show that every time you build a house, you needed 1/300th of a selectman's administrative assistant, you know, or 1/750th of a whatever. How many people were needed to fill places because you built houses?
Yeah.
That program went away while I was doing that work, so I never completed it. And that was before you punched buttons on a computer at home. You know, but as the school department, by the way, the state Department of Education was really organized. They had those numbers for the town of Baldwin, just to go ask and they give it to you. But anyway, that was something I did in the 90s. And so it brings me to where we are with, what's going on in Baldwin. I asked you guys to Google, cost of buying a house, buying an acre of land in Baldwin, and Google what's going on in Wyndham and Standish, Gorham, you know, whatever. I was talking, I've been talking to different people about land costs. Recently I was unable to purchase a piece of property because I only thought it was worth $3,000 an acre. Can you imagine? $3,000 an acre for land. Oh my God. My father stopped buying land when it was $20 an acre because that was just way overpriced. And I think anything over $500 an acre is overpriced. And I went and I was willing to pay $3,000 an acre, and they were bidding against each other. After I said, no, you don't want to take $3,000. I think we're looking at 8 to 10. Okay, $8,000 to $10,000 an acre involved. So when somebody, this is all in aid of talking about the shoreline zoning ordinance. Somebody who wants to build in Baldwin, we should be charging them. Especially somebody has land they've had for a long time, and they're going from a $500 an acre lot and it's turning into a $10,000 an acre lot. They've got no reason to complain if they have to go and hire a soil scientist to say they don't have a wetland there. Or if we want to charge a building permit with a much higher cost. We gotta realize what we're doing to this town. And we're messing it up if we allow people to just build. We've got to be thoughtful and think about what's going on. At $10,000 an acre, and somebody sitting behind a computer in Florida or California or New Mexico, wow, look at that land, it's only $10,000 an acre, I'll buy it. And they come here and they got no idea what they're doing here in Baldwin. And I don't know how to think this through. I can't think it through alone for sure. But we as a group have to think it through. The planning board, the selectmen, we got to think about this because it's going to hit us hard. And the state laws are not in our favor.
Okay, that's a good question.
Sure, I'm sorry.
Well, no.
I'm excited.
Well, no, and this is pretty awesome to hear all this. I mean, it's just frightening, but we have a lot of hills here in Baldwin, and I would say half my property is unbuildable. So it can't be worth $10,000 an acre. I mean, it just can't.
I agree with you, but it is.
I mean, look where they over Wyndham, where they just built some condos on that corner, as you went into, that's just a dirt pile, it's just a fill. That's all it was.
There was a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just filled it in, now we're putting, what's it, like 6 condos there?
But it's accessible.
Yeah.
But mine isn't.
Well,
That's
you
what I'm
think
trying to
I
say.
think they could make it.
I've got a friend with down in Hartsville's got a tramway to go up the hill.
Yeah?
Well,
Yeah.
over in Sebago, where they built on side of the road going up with it, like Mountain Road.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know, they just kept putting dirt there,
Yeah.
dirt there,
Yeah.
so they put, oh, there's a house there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's a road, a public road that's going by it.
True. Yeah, but it wasn't, it was just a,
But all I'm saying is,
Yeah.
that, you know, in order to develop the property I have, it would be outrageously, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
outrageous.
think people could do it. I mean, because Kenny can't even access some of it with his tractor. You know.
Mary, outrageous to you, outrageous to me, but to somebody who thinks land's worth $100,000 an acre, not outrageous.
Right.
Well, yes, but when you're saying all this, it's frightening because you think, oh my God, if my property is worth $10,000 an acre, what's gonna happen to my taxes? You know,
Well, it's a different thing is what people pay and what the assessed rate is.
Right.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
it influences.
It is different. But,
That's not the frightening thing. What, the taxes are not the frightening thing.
Right.
The frightening thing is people who don't know what it's like to live in Baldwin and have no history and no coming here, and they're gonna run the place.
Yeah.
That's what's frightening to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, they'll build on a, you know, they will engineer the land to make it possible.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll build it up and flatten it out.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know what kind of impact fee you could put on to deter that, is what my first thought was, you know, it's like, well, how do we, what can we do, you know, it's how you mentioned, slow it down, charge them a fee.
we do have something that slows it down, we've got the growth
Right,
permit, and,
I mean, if they're gonna spend that much for an acre, another few thousand for an impact fee's not gonna bother them, so.
Which gets back to the review of the growth ordinance, but still.
Well, as long as
Then how do
the
you
state allows us to
separate
have
the
that
growth
growth
rate, you
ordinance.
know?
but that,
As long as the state allows us to have a growth ordinance.
still do so far, yeah.
Okay, yeah, another 5 years, they may change their mind, say, you gotta go by our rules. Right?
Well, I've been looking at something similar, but what the question is, where's the growth? You know, I don't know that it's a question of growth, but explosive growth, I think, because eventually it will happen.
Yep.
And so I've been looking at, property owners and how much they own for land. A good portion of the land in Baldwin is owned by individuals with less than 10 acres individually. And then I've been looking at it as, well, there's quite a bit. I haven't actually run the numbers as to how many acres total is owned by Baldwin landowners, because I understand that the basis of our comprehensive plan is that Baldwin people wanna keep Baldwin the way they are, so they're not gonna sell their land to these developers for $10,000 an acre, right?
I don't know,
Yeah.
shiny money.
Yeah, and
It's,
if they get desperate, they would.
Yeah.
They might,
Yeah.
they might want to, because that's their investment.
Yeah.
But then you can look at people who don't live in Baldwin and own land. And there's a few big landowners.
Not as many as there used to be, but yes, you're right, there still are.
I'd like to map it out so I can see where those are.
Well, my sister's 83 and she owns 275 acres, and her two boys haven't been in town in 10 years.
Who's that?
My sister,
Oh,
Elizabeth
yeah,
Hughes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you made a comment that, you know, your son not really interested in, you know, so.
Yeah.
He's interested and he isn't, you know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, I mean.
not as passionate as I am.
Right. And our land's been in our family for almost 200 years, so.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
that we don't wanna let go, but.
Right?
We're all in that position, we don't wanna let it go, but on the other hand, $10,000 an acre.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
The siren song.
But then again, if you put the,
It's hard to judge what the impact would be,
Yeah, it's true,
because
we don't know.
some of it, as I think Mary said, is unbuildable by definition.
Right.
They can, they would, well, Disney
I mean,
World is built on
California,
swampland.
they do it in California.
Yeah,
They
they do.
slide it off into the sea.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know if you've been to California, but there's some that are like right on the edge of it.
They terraced, they take a hill and they terrace it.
Right.
So they take the soil out and then build a flat place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin lives there.
Yes.
That's all we really do.
All of Disney World was built in swampland.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good to think about.
Well, it is, but I just,
Consideration.
you know, I won't be here.
We should recognize it as a truth, so we deal with it, and put it in, and plug it into our thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, it's like, not bury that.
Right.
Yeah, what happens if we're forced to put in sewage and water?
By who?
By the state, because we need to, you know, we have all these people, they need it.
I don't know that the state's dictating those type of things yet.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
yet.
I like that,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't wanna be the shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know, I just wanna be we did it right.
Nip it in the butt before it gets to that
Exactly.
point, yeah,
We can.
yeah.
I'll bring it up again sometime, just to keep you guys.
No, it's something good to keep in mind
It is.
and future planning.
It is.
My real concern is how much water's in the ground.
We also have a lot of
That's a
people
problem.
that are living
Huh?
in travel
That's a
trailers.
problem.
Yeah.
It is.
You know,
Yep.
what are we doing about that?
So the thing is that if it is worth, if the land is worth $10,000 an acre, and they do purchase it at that price, and you slap them with some kind of a fee to like do the, you know, the water, whatever, and all that, they didn't have enough money to go to a halfway decent place, so you're gonna get some of your tax money from that. I mean, it's not like we're gonna have travel trailers, like she's saying, all over the place.
Well, what's gonna happen is if people with that money to buy that, they can go to Joe with a 7-house, could be 28 house subdivision.
Well,
Right,
that's a
right.
possibility.
You know, that's
Yeah.
what it's all about, it ain't like, you know, 'cause really Maine's not one of the destination spots for anybody young trying to make it for themselves, it's more like, you know, the vacation is, the out of state is, or the people that want development, or the people that are already here,
Right,
the way I see it anyways.
Retirement,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
cheap place to live in retirement.
Yeah.
We're
A
all,
place to come to die is what it is.
Like Arizona.
Another way to put it, yeah.
I just read an article about, United States in general, but it honed in on the individual states. In Maine, I think we're dying at twice the rate we're replacing people by, you know, it's just incredible. So,
wow,
all this out,
We're all-
unless we bring some people in.
we're always getting letters from developers that want to buy our land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't wanna pay you anything.
Phone calls even.
Yeah, I got a text one day and
Yep.
erased it.
I get them too, but they don't wanna pay anything for it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Take it off your hands.
Yeah.
Because the taxes you don't want to pay on it. Sweet talk you. Anything else, Joe?
No, that's enough.
Kathy?
We got our check, thank you, yay.
You're welcome.
That's very nice.
Good. Mary?
No, thank you for asking.
How many acres you got up there?
58,
38?
58.
58, wow, that's a lot of money up there.
Like Lord, they have over 600.
Wow.
Yeah, they do. They own all three sides of us.
Half $1 million.
Yeah, yeah. Mary Ellen?
No, I'm all set.
Bruce?
Yep, all good.
Don?
I'm all set, thank you.
Ken? You go, Robert? Bob? Dick?
No good,
Well, I'm all
Adjourned.
say it.
All in favor?
Happy Thanksgiving.